These are 5 reasons to buy Viktor and Rolf Spicebomb Extreme. Enjoy the video. If you've been interested in fragrances for a while, then I'm in no doubt you would have come across some reviews of people talking about Spicebomb Extreme. It's on the top of a lot of people's top 10 lists and winter fragrance lists, but I think this works really well in the summer as well, and I'm going to tell you why. These are 5 reasons why you should buy Spicebomb Extreme. Reason number 1 is this is a fantastic summer evening fragrance. Yes, this is a great winter fragrance. It's on the top of everyone's top winter lists. I wear it in the winter and I think it's great. But this also works really well in the summer evenings. I want you to imagine it's a relatively cool August evening. There's a nice gentle breeze and you're going to an outdoor barbecue. As the sun goes down, there's a nice cool air coming in. You're drinking a cold beer, you're wearing a denim shirt and you're wearing this. All of those things combined are going to make this smell absolutely incredible. That nice cool air is going to carry this fragrance across the area where you are and you're going to smell amazing. So reason number 1, this makes for a fantastic summer evenings or date night winter fragrance. Reason number 2 why you should buy Spicebomb Extreme is it smells similar to some expensive niche fragrances. Now when I say it smells similar, I do not mean that it smells exactly the same, but what I mean is that it's got some similar notes and the fragrance characteristics are quite similar. The fragrances, expensive niche fragrances I think it is similar to are Parfums de Marly's Herod, Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille, and there is some small similarities. I'm starting to think they're less and less like each other the more I wear them. This is Initio's Rehab, but we're going to talk about this at the end of the video where I'm going to give you some comparisons of these fragrances. But Parfums de Marly's Herod, I think they do smell fairly similar. There are obviously some differences, they're not going to be exactly the same. Parfums de Marly's Herod is a lot less spicy than Spicebomb Extreme. The tobacco is a heavier, fruitier tobacco. This smells like a kind of cherry pipe tobacco. The tobacco is very dense and thick, whereas in Spicebomb Extreme it's like a sort of dusty tobacco. It's actually easier to wear, I would say, and there's a lot more spices in this. But reason number 2, Spicebomb Extreme has some similar notes and some similar fragrance characteristics as some expensive niche fragrances like Parfums de Marly's Herod. Third reason why you should buy Spicebomb Extreme is this is not a very generic designer fragrance. And when I say that, what I mean is I don't think many people outside the fragrance community, of course, will wear this. So it's not going to smell like Dior Sauvage or any of the really popular fragrances that are being sold. It's not a blue fragrance by any means. So in a sense, it's going to be quite unique. And you are possibly going to be the only person that you know who is wearing this. And that is, I think, a really good reason to buy this, because sometimes when you buy a fragrance, you want it to be your own personal smell, especially if you're buying something for a signature scent and something that you want people to relate to you, and when they smell something, you want people to think, that smells like myself, not that smells like my brother, my dad, my ex-boyfriend. So reason number 3 is this is not very generic, and not a whole lot of people are going to be wearing this as well. Reason number 4 why you should buy Spicebomb Extreme is this is a very good, probably the best vanilla fragrance in the designer market. This is mainly vanilla as the backbone, so it's going to be predominantly a vanilla fragrance, and you've got black pepper at the top. And when you first spray this, the first kind of 2 minutes or so, it's going to go up your nose. I noticed this when I spray it and it makes you want to sneeze. It's a black pepper accord, it goes right up your nose, and it can be quite it can affect you quite badly if you spray too much. So I wouldn't recommend wearing it in the summer daytime, but summer evenings, yes. So this is vanilla, it's black pepper in the opening, you've got tobacco and spices, and I think the spice is going to be something like cinnamon. So it's very spicy, and it's a spice explosion. So that's, I think the name is right, Spicebomb Extreme. It's a spice explosion, but the vanilla is really nice. It's really smooth, really sweet, and it lasts a long time on your skin. So reason number 4 is this is a fantastic designer vanilla fragrance. Reason number 5 why you should buy but also why you should not buy Spicebomb Extreme. This is going to be a for and against, and that is the performance. When I first tried this, it was a few years ago, and I was in the airport going to, I was in Gdansk in Poland actually. I was in the airport, and I wasn't hugely into fragrances at the time. I was just starting my journey, and I tried this, and I remember spraying it on, and I couldn't believe how strong it was. It was probably the strongest fragrance I tried at the relatively early time of my fragrance journey, but really couldn't believe it. It was an explosion of spices. It was probably too strong for me at the time. I didn't buy it, but I really remembered how strong it was. And I've had a few bottles of this over the last few years because I've got my own fragrance sample business, so I go through a lot of these bottles, which is great because it gives me a really good chance to test different batches. I do research batches, I look at the year when they were made, and then I can try and figure out the differences. And I do believe that over time, this has got slightly weaker. And whilst that can be considered a bad thing, but the performance now is still pretty good. So when you first spray it on, I did mention earlier, the black pepper goes up your nose, and it's very strong. And I think that's probably why they toned it down. But the lovely vanilla base is going to last a long time, and you will get a nice, it's hard to guess how much because everyone's skin chemistry is different, but you'll get a good 2 hours of protection, and it will last on your skin at least 6 hours. So I think that the performance, it's going to be a reason to buy it because it's still quite good. But if you've had earlier batches, or even if we're talking about earlier batches in general, it used to be better, and it's a shame that they've potentially made it weaker. But it's still a reason to buy it because it's still a pretty good performance. So we've had 5 reasons to buy Spicebomb Extreme, but these are a few fragrances that you can wear that are similar but have their own differences as well. So the first one we're going to talk about is this. This is Bulgari Man in Black. Why is that not focusing? There we go. Bulgari Man in Black. So this is actually, I find it's more similar to the original Spicebomb, but you can also compare it to Spicebomb Extreme. This is a lot less spicy than the Spicebombs, but this has a lovely, almost formal, but boozy rum note. So I find this works really well in formal occasions because the spices are toned down, but you've got this beautiful rum note. So I imagine this works really well if you are a man in black. If you're wearing a nice, sharp black suit, black tuxedo, this would work well. I'm actually going to a wedding next week, or in 2 weeks' time, and this might be my fragrance of choice because this is going to work really well. So this is toned down on the spices. You've still got the black pepper, the cinnamon, the vanilla, but toned down, and a lovely rum note. So this is fragrance number 1 to compare to Spicebomb Extreme. Another one we've already mentioned is Parfums de Marly's Herod. This is much more of a denser, heavier cherry tobacco, as we said, but this is definitely tobacco, vanilla, this is cinnamon. So this is, I'm going to say it's a nicer fragrance than Spicebomb Extreme. The price is a lot more, it's at least 2 times, probably 3 times the price. Performance is very similar, but it's going to last longer on your skin because it's denser, but it's not going to project as much. So if you're looking for a better, a smoother fragrance with better ingredients that smells similar to Spicebomb Extreme but not as in your face, Parfums de Marly's Herod is a great choice. And lastly, Initio's Rehab. When I first tried this, I thought this smelled almost exactly like the original Spicebomb. So also Spicebomb Extreme because they're very similar. But the more I've owned this and the more I've worn it, the less I'm starting to think that they smell alike. There are some similarities, but they're becoming less and less. This is a lot more woodier. It's a lot more smoother, classier, and this is got a beautiful sandalwood note. So in the base, it's predominantly sandalwood, and you've got some lovely spicy woods, and that's why it's similar to the Spicebomb Extreme. But again, it's not as spicy. It hasn't got as much vanilla, and it's just more of a classy, well-made fragrance. So guys, if you like Spicebomb, if you like Spicebomb Extreme, I would recommend you checking this out. This is Initio Rehab. Thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this comparison video and 5 reasons to buy Spicebomb Extreme. Let me know down in the comments which one you would choose and if you like Spicebomb Extreme or not. I will see you in a few days with another video. Take care.